It's very simple. We have to run away and live in the woods. A cornucopia, it sucks. The feels, yak, yak, yak. Hey! I cannot control it, it just oozes out. Hello, Booktube! I am fairly new to Booktube, as you may know, as you may not know, since you've probably never seen my face before, but I figured it was time to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. It was inevitable. We all knew this was coming. Here we go. Question number 1 is, why did I start this channel? That's kind of funny because the idea started with book promotion. I'm an indie author, and I decided that instead of blogging and screaming about my book on social media everywhere, I would try doing video book promotion. But then I started recording, and I just felt like it was me going, hey, buy my book. Did you know I wrote a book? Here's my book. You should review my book. Did you like my book? I have a book. Here, read my book. Over and over and over again, like I'm doing everywhere else on the internet, and I hate that. I never want to be doing that. It's not fun for anyone. So I morphed the idea of my YouTube channel into a Booktube channel, because I love to read and I love to talk about what I've read, so here I am doing that with you. What are some fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube? Well, I'll state the obvious. Personality! I have personality in spades. I cannot control it, it just oozes out of me, so here I am on Booktube bringing my special spin to book reading. I'm also a princess for charity events and birthday parties. So I'm an actor, and I have all kinds of crazy stories and weird, quirky personality traits that just sort of come out. So that's one thing that I can bring to Booktube, is uniqueness in general. I also am hoping to shine some light on other indie authors. There are so many great writers and storytellers out there, and since we indie publish, we don't get the recognition and the spotlight that mass marketed authors get. So if there's just one more person talking about indie books on YouTube, the better, because we need all the help we can get. So be looking for some awesome indie recommendations from me as well. What am I most excited for with this channel? I am so excited to just connect with people on the internet. That's what social media is all about, and YouTube is a form of social media. So here I am wanting to talk about books and have a conversation with people. I don't just want to yak, yak, yak and shout at you what you should be reading and what I liked and didn't like. I want to talk about it. I also like to entertain people, so that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm not performing as much as I used to be. I'm looking forward to just being a little bit entertaining because I like when people are happy, so I am looking forward to that also. Why do I love reading? It's very simple. Being a reader turned me into being a writer, and I love writing. So by default, I love reading. I love stories, and I love characters, and I love talking about it. I love the way a book makes me feel. I love that a book can just take me from one place to another without having to pack a suitcase. The feels the books give me, I just love that too. What book or series got me into reading? This is a fairly simple answer, and it may seem silly, but there is one book I can exactly pinpoint that turned me from a girl who reads sometimes to a reader. Runaways by V.C. Andrews. This may seem sort of like a mass market paperback fluff sort of book, and it kind of maybe is, but this bad boy took me into a world of awesomeness. It was relatable for me. I've always been a really imaginative kid. As a kid, my sister and my friends and I would play these like imagination games that very often I was the one that came up with, but a frequent game we played was, we are orphans in a horrible orphanage and we have to run away and live in the woods. So when I was 14 and I saw this book sitting in a restaurant gift shop, I read the synopsis, and it's about kids in a horrible foster home that have to run away. Hello! So I grabbed it, and I read it, and I loved it. This book taught me to love reading, so I will be eternally grateful for V.C. Andrews. What questions would I ask my favorite booktubers? First of all, I would ask if they wanted to do a collab video, because all I want to do is sit down with my favorite booktubers and just have a conversation. I would love to just talk about their favorite books, books they hate, books I love and hate, and just go on and on and on about it. So we may as well record it for the rest of Booktube to understand, because it would be hilarious, it would be enlightening, it would be amazing. So that's what I would ask. Wanna collab? What challenges do I think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? That is simple. Gaining traction. It is the hardest thing when you're new to a social media platform to gain any sort of traction. I've been doing a lot of book promotion for over a year now, and I know how difficult it can be to gain views and to gain followers. It sucks. So I know the first problem I'm going to have is just being seen in the first place. Also, keeping up with content. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so it takes me 100 years to edit a single video, especially since they keep getting longer. So keeping up with content's going to be hard. We're doing okay so far, but that's something that is going to prove challenging. When did I start reading? I remember as a little, toddler on my mom's lap, and she read me Go Dog Go every single day. You could count, the end of kindergarten, beginning of first grade when, they teach you to read. But I think it was pinpointed to the moment I picked up that V.C. Andrews book and I was in the 9th grade. So, 9th grade, I became a reader. Where do I read? Anywhere that is not a moving vehicle. I do get horribly carsick. I can't even read on an airplane. But anywhere else. Quite usually it is in my living room in a rocking chair because that is the most comfortable. But I will read anywhere. As long as a vehicle is not moving with me in it, I can be reading. What kind of books do I like to read? I think I have quite a cornucopia of reading interests. I love classics. I love them, absolutely love them. Science fiction, I like fairy tale retellings as long as it's not predictable. I love historical fiction. I like horror. I like, if it's dark and twisted and disturbed, I'm gonna love it. If it's very highly imaginative, I'm gonna love it. I love unique. I love things that have not been done before. I love when a book totally catches you off guard. I love just a brilliant idea. That kind of stuff. I don't usually read a ton of YA contemporary, simply because there's just so many repeating themes and things that I get kind of bored really easily. So if it is unique and if it is really, really new, then I will definitely read it. I don't say no to a genre because that's just mean. I think I really do read a ton of stuff. Okay, so those are my answers for the Booktube Newbie Tag. If it's sounding like something you might be interested in, please hit subscribe. I would love to have ya. Thanks for watching. I'm going to have a current TBR video up in the next few days, so be watching for that. Hit the thumbs up. Hit subscribe. We will see you later.